Greetings, my fellow unicorns. I'm Jolene. Welcome to Jolene Sparkles. Uh, had a little bit of a stressful day. I kind of accidentally destroyed another keyboard, so I had a bit of a mad scramble to get everything up and going and ready for the chat. Or, excuse me, not ready for the chat, ready for the stream. And it's been kind of a crazy, interesting day, but luckily we're. Whoops, something is playing here. Can you hear that? Or am I crazy? Wait, what's playing? Okay, sorry, 1 second. I have, oh, there we go. I had my own stream going in the background in a different window. I was like, wait a minute. I can hear it playing somewhere. Where is it? Oh, wait, there it is. Anyway, okay, wow. Yeah, today's been a crazy day, let me tell you. But anyway, the great news is that we're ready for some Factorio. Sort of. And by sort of, I mean I have to load the game still. But yeah, loading the game right now, and then we could jump right into it. And let me see if I can find my notes from last week so we could talk a little bit about what I did after the stream. And to be honest with you, I don't remember how much I did after the stream last week because I'll be honest with you, I've been so sucked into Dyson Sphere program that yeah. Okay, so it looks like okay, I think this is the things that I did last week. I guess we'll find out in just a second. So let's go ahead and... Why is this taking so long? It says cropping bitmaps. It's never taken this long to load this game. Of course, today, you know, one thing goes wrong, everything has to go wrong. For some reason, like, in my headphones right now, one side is, I'm not getting the right balance between these, and it's really kind of... It's throwing me off a little bit. So, let's see. Let's try to do that a little bit. See if that makes it a little... Oh, actually, that did make it a little bit better. Okay, I had my balance off a little bit. Hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for everybody. And the game is still loading. It says loading sprites. So, yeah. I do have this new keyboard because I kind of destroyed my old one by accidentally spilling lemonade on it. Fun fact. Oh, now of course that monitor decides to go on. I also had a monitor stop working, but as soon as I moved this other mouse, it decided to suddenly start working. I'll tell you, like, today has just been one of those days. Okay, but yeah, so I found out something really interesting for everybody in chat who wants to know this. Keyboards and Lemonade are not compatible. I know, it's a crazy fun fact, but they don't work very well together. Oh my god. Of course, looking for game, you know, whatever. I'm not going to complain too much about that tonight. Everybody knows that I always complain about that, trying to figure it out. But yeah, I have this new keyboard, and this time I decided to get a tiny bit smart, and I actually bought the extended warranty on it. I know a lot of people are like, well, who cares about extended warranties? They're terrible. Like, you really shouldn't deal with them. But you know what? When they cover spills, I'll go ahead and do it. This is a slightly different keyboard than the last one I had. It's still a Razer keyboard. I do like their keyboards. I'm not a huge fan of their mice. I do like the Logitech MMO mice better because it has the 4 buttons on the top. Besides, like, I mean, it's got so it's got 3 mouse buttons plus the middle mouse button, which is super awesome. But this one definitely has a very different feel to it, and I'm not entirely sure I like it, but whatever. Anyway. So yeah, looking at my notes, I don't remember if I actually did this one last week. So it says the 24th after show, but, wait, was last week 24th? Yes, it was. Okay, so yes, these are actually my notes from last week. So here we go. So some of the things that I worked on was I started our blue circuits, connected storage and logistics blueprint. I don't know what the hell that means, but we'll find out in a moment. Oh yeah, I did upgrade my armor. You'll see that I have power armor now. And I have some more shields in there, luckily. Because, you know, that radiation was really, you know, it hurt a lot. So we went from Modular Armor, which only has 4x4 of equipment grid, to this now has a 6x6, 6x6 equipment grid, which is really, really nice. It's not the nicest. We're going to get to better ones later, but for right now, this is a huge, you know, jump in the right direction. And then, oh yeah, I connected a small power portable generator now. So we do have to fill it with fuel, but we have rocket fuel now, so we don't have to fill it too often. But as long as we have a little bit of this on us at any time, we can just go pick up some more. We are cheating a little bit with, you know, using teleports, so no big deal. I have a personal roboport on here now, which is super nice. and we can start using some of the actual construction bots for it. But it, yeah, and you can see that I do have 20 construction bots on me. Not a ton, but hey, it's better than nothing. And unfortunately, because of the issue with the other monitor that I'm having, I have to kind of look over here tonight for checking messages. Yeah, I've been looking for a new monitor for a while now. I haven't quite found what I wanted. This monitor I've been using for quite a while. It's my secondary monitor I've had for quite a while. Is kind of on its way out, but you know, whatever. All right, so enough about me. Well, not really. We'll still talk about me all night, but um, let's kind of jump over here and take a look at where we're at with things. So you can see this is the blue circuit production that I have started. And you can see that right now it's kind of nighttime, so the, oops, gotta turn that off. But because it's nighttime, you can see our night vision is kicked in, and this is kind of the LUT that it applies, and what that means is that it changes the color scheme based on these color parameters. Like, think of it as if you change the color balance on your camera. Same thing. You know, I am going to be installing a mod at some point to make this just kind of a natural color, because to be honest with you, like the colors being off like this, it does give me a little bit of a headache, I'm not going to lie. But whatever. Okay, so you can see that I did this a little bit after the stream, so it wasn't quite us, but we will be working together on the rest of this. But yeah, we're going to need some rare metals. We're going to need some red circuits. And I already have our sulfuric acid connected. Now, in order to create this power armor, I did manually bring down some of these materials just to, you know, kick off a little bit of blue circuits so I can go ahead and use it. I don't like this keyboard. I like the clicky keyboards for gaming, but this one has a very different kind of clicky feel to it. But at the same time, it does have like a glow underneath that my other one didn't have. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. But hey, this one has spill protection though. I'm still going to try to repair my old one, but, you know, if it doesn't work, I have this at least. So, you can see here, and yes, in the future, I will always have a backup keyboard. I have a backup mouse, because let's face it, in 2021 already, I've broken a keyboard and a mouse, both from spills. So you can see that I did fill in this area a little bit. You know, right along here was the original line for the shore, but I did take a lot of that landfill that I started to produce, kind of overproduce actually. You know, we're building quite a bit of it down here. And I started filling that in, and we need that in order to be able to extend our bus down. Because we have our rare metals all the way down here, we're also going to kind of have to snake that up through right about here and bring that down through our bus as well. But because we have so much of a mess over here, you know, we have our temporary kind of oil set up here. This one will not be permanent. This is just kind of a, you know, kind of a stepping stone area for right now. We will start working on a better one, you know, in the next episode or two. We're going to start working on our rail system soon, and you can see that I have started setting up a little bit of our mall for the rail system. Not everything is connected, but a lot of it is connected. There's a couple of things that are being produced, but we're going to get this connected very shortly. But one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some radar down here. Let's make sure I have the materials for that, because I want to be able to keep an eye on this area while I'm out and about doing other things. You know, because those little pesky biters are going to be, you know, doing their thing because, well, that's what they do. Oops. Kind of going back and forth between Dyson Sphere program and this. Which actually, on that note, since I've been so addicted to the Dyson Sphere program, I've actually been considering, you know, doing a double stream of Dyson Sphere program for the next couple of weeks. If you have any thoughts on that, please let me know. As Brittany says, biters gonna bite, and that is so, so true. She's actually watching in the other room. I do have to switch my TV over to use Comcast at some point. I just haven't had a chance to set up the routes on that yet, but I do have I have two internet connections. I have WebPass, which is what I'm using for my my stream upload, because I have a 500 down, 500 up connection, but to be honest with you, I end up getting closer to like 900 up and down. And then for watching my stream, I actually have it set up to a dedicated computer, which is my Mac Mini, and that one has a different gateway that only goes out through Comcast. This way it's not affecting my existing gateway or my existing connection. I know it sounds really dorky, but of course it is. But I have the ability with my router to switch, different things between different networks. Okay, so let's see here. I'm just kind of getting an eye on things to figure out where I want to go next with things. And what I'm taking a look at right now, looks like we need to get some green circuits kind of set up here. We need to have some steel beams, which the steel beams are going to kind of come through. Okay, steel beams are actually going to be manufactured through here. And it looks like we already have the steel kind of connected. I keep hitting the wrong button on this. Keep thinking it's like Dyson Sphere program. Wow, my headphone audio is really low. It's kind of throwing me off. Okay, it's a little bit... Oh, there we go. Now I can hear it better. Okay. Ah, wow. The shampoo exploded? How did... So, Brittany just came in the other room and told me, like, the shampoo exploded. Oh. Apparently she had shampoo on her and it exploded everywhere. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't know how it happened, but hey, shampoo's gonna explode. Alright, so let's get some green circuits kind of going down here, and I think that's going to be important for us to start that out. This way we can start producing some of these, these train systems now, because we can have that continue to, to build all of these while we go out and, get the rest of our blue circuits up and going. See, I'm going to upgrade some of these a little bit. Don't really have to. I mean, we definitely could get away with that. Or get away with not upgrading these, but I'm going to upgrade them because we're here, and why not, Should probably upgrade some of these assemblers as well, or assembly machines, assemblers, same thing. But it's not that important just yet. We'll let our bots kind of come through and do the rest of this upgrade here. Let's plan out our route for how we're going to get our rare metals, which are all the way over here, to the other side. And one of the problems I'm facing right now is that, yeah, I could probably sneak it through here a little bit. We do have a little tiny bit of room. It's going to be kind of we're kind of pushing too much through there. Oh, excuse me. Pushing a little bit too much through there. And I really should have built these down a little tiny bit further, and you notice I started doing that here. That's one option. Another option is that we can run it over top, or we have one other even crazier option. And that crazier option is that we can just set up over here. This will become our kind of our rare metals smelting facility. We'll just kind of designate this area right here as our rare metals smelting facility. We can set up some train tracks to kind of run all the way down through here and just have a train drop off there. And I think we're going to go that route because, not because we have to, but because it'll be fun. So let's see, we still need a little bit of stone here. I did not finish completing hooking all these up. Unfortunately, Dyson Sphere program kept calling me very loudly all week. Making really great progress in one of my games. Pretty excited. Like I started working on my actual Dyson Sphere instead of just my Dyson Swarm. So kind of excited to get back to that this week. That'll be happening on Saturday for those that don't know. I stream every Wednesday and Saturday. Oh, I don't like how that is there. Yeah, this is a tight one right here because you can see the, well, I guess we'll just kind of have to leave that there for right now like that. I don't like that, but there we go. We'll just do that. Oh, you know what? I don't want to use those belts. We want to use the faster ones. Oopsies. Kind of going back and forth between Dyson Sphere program and Factorio definitely throws you off on key bindings, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll do this here, do that there. That'll give us just enough to kind of bring it through here. Yeah, I guess we'll do an underground here. I don't normally like to break them up like that, but, whatever. There was this other strategy. Oops, built this backwards. There was this other strategy that I saw on Reddit that I did want to try at some point, and I kind of forgot about it until now. Maybe I'll refactor it kind of during the off time, which is essentially instead of having your bus kind of going horizontally like this, and then having your the things you're pulling off the belts go use underground belts, your bus itself uses underground belts, and then the things that are coming off the belts don't. So it's basically the exact opposite of this. I've been wanting to try that method in one of the next spaces that I was going to build, but I just kind of forgot about it for the stream. I might have said that I wanted to do that, but to be honest with you, I kind of forgot. We all know my memory. All right, so let's continue running this stone down here so we can get those railroads kind of connected. We don't have our logistics just yet. It's going to be a little while before we get to our logistics, unfortunately. I don't think we'll be able to get to our robot logistics this particular episode because it looks like we need to get to yellow science, which is our utility tech cards. And what do the utility tech cards require again? Let's see here. I kind of forgot what it is. So yeah, blue circuits like we're working on already. That's kind of part of what we're doing. Rocket fuel we're producing a little bit right now. Not a lot, but we're producing some. And then low density structure. Low density structure we haven't even started on yet. So, we'll see how this week goes. Maybe I'll actually get off my ass and do it this time. And work on some of these things after the stream. But because I've been so sucked into Dyson Sphere program recently, that's why as I was kind of getting ready for my stream, because, it takes more than 3 minutes to get ready for the stream because I got to put on face and, all those things. But while I was getting ready, I was sitting there thinking, well, you know what, maybe because I've been so sucked into Dyson Sphere program, Factorio is going to be here for a while, so maybe, play that a little bit more unless, it starts to get a little bit dull, which, I'm realizing I started getting to the absolute end of the tech sphere, or tech tree, I should say, and one of the things that I've realized is that there's definitely an infinite mode, so it goes on. The science goes on forever, and I actually flew to my first neutron star and stuff, and it was pretty cool. Definitely takes quite a bit of fuel to get to the neutron star. I learned a bunch of things about getting there, and oops, why did that not work? That underground should have worked. It's probably just it was just too far. Oh well. But yeah. So I mean, with Science Factory, the update 4, I haven't checked the status on update 4. I'm not even sure if update 4 is actually even out yet, but I know that was something that we discussed possibly doing, switching over to Satisfactory once that update was out. Let's go ahead and upgrade this while we're here. Let's see, do we have tier 3 yet? No, we don't. So we're still on tier 2, but this will make these a little bit faster. That's good. So we can start knocking out some rail lines. We're going to need a lot of rail in order to get from one side to the other. Now, there is another thing we can do. In order to get to our, the next level of our tech, one of the things that we could look at doing is doing kind of a temporary setup just to build enough of these, the yellow tech cards in order to get that research. And we'd have to build 250. So there's a few different ways we could do that. We can do really, really cheap method, which is basically just grab a bunch of materials, bring it to the other side, drop it into a box, and say, just go ahead and produce it. We can, kind of run a little bit of these materials back and forth. We did do a little bit of that over here with our, kind of our temporary setup over here. Sorry, one second. Yeah, it's weird. I hear some kind of like a humming sound, and I don't know what that is. I don't know. Whatever. All right. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing wrong. Temps look good, though. All right. Let's see here. But yeah, you can see like we have a little bit of our temp kind of set up for certain things. So, doing temporary setups in this game is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just when you find yourself doing a lot of temporary setups all the time, that you're getting yourself into kind of a bad spot with it. But let's see what else we need to connect for our railways here. And we can at least start setting up some of that. I mean, we're going to need a few stacks of these, to be honest with you, in order to really to run that over, to be able to run a full line over there. So I'm going to put this here because we're going to need to produce a lot of those. And yeah, steel beams are still running a little bit slow. We could, of course, speed that up by just dropping a bunch in there and saying screw it. Which we're just going to drop some in because we have some on us. So let's just go ahead and let those be created. Let's see, what can we do? I don't know. Oh, wait, we can't put productivity modules in here because we can put a productivity module in here, though. I accidentally did an upgrade, which we don't have yet, which is one thing that is annoying that it does do, but whatever. But this we can put a productivity module in and productivity module and a speed module, and that will use a little bit less resources, but we will still get a speed gain from it. It's not a lot of a gain, but it's a little bit of a gain. So you can see 0.75 to 0.9375, whatever. So we could potentially do the same thing here. I don't know if this accepts productivity modules. It does not, because it's not an intermediate product. Okay, so now you can see this is going a little bit slow, so let's put a faster inserter there. Same thing with that. Make sure these are using faster inserters. And you can see my robots were actually finally doing a little bit of work, which is great. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's some of these get producing. See, what do we need here? We need green circuits still. Oh, crap, I connected the wrong thing here. This was supposed to be green circuits. How did I do that? Oh, crap, that was supposed to connect to here. I hate it when I do that. I connected the wrong thing. This is going to be fun to clean up. Luckily, it's not that bad in this game to clean that up. In Dyson Sphere program, it is a little bit more of a pain in the ass. Because you have to... Basically, I haven't found a way besides rebuild the conveyor belts in order to get those items off the conveyor belt. So let's go ahead and connect these, and I'll just go down and pull these off. Just enough to... Okay, it looks like we should have enough here. So I'll make sure I have enough inventory to grab all this crap out of here that I totally should not have put on there. Let's see, a little bit more. Good, that's there. Almost. And that should do it. Good. Now that'll allow us to start creating some of our other circuits that we need, which we're going to need for LTN, which is Logistics Train Network. It's seriously one of the best mods in this game, hands down. There are some people who don't like it. I am a huge fan of it. I know it does have some scaling issues when you get up to the really super high end of the game, but not everybody really gets to that stage. But I absolutely love it. It really greatly simplifies the way that you deploy your train networks. Instead of having trains that are dedicated for specific purposes, you end up having generic trains, and then you specify like, okay, well, I want this train station to supply, or I want this train station to supply, iron plates, or you want this, you want to make a smelting facility, so you pull in ore and stuff, and it just figures out the train that needs to go, and has different train networks and such. It's a pretty slick system. But we don't have that research yet. And wait, why are my green circuits not coming out? Yeah, this is an issue with this blueprint. You can see there that this was supposed to grab these green circuits. It was missing an underground belt. It would be nice if I could actually modify some of my blueprints to actually fix that. There's probably an update to that blueprint. I'll have to check it at some point. I have actually been working towards setting up a blog, which I'm going to kind of have a lot more information about my show, and just kind of a list of episodes, links to subscribing, Instagram, like all that stuff, which I haven't really been promoting very much, but I'll start promoting a lot more of that stuff in the future. but also start listing out a lot of my blueprints and such that I use. Okay, so this needs glass for the lights. I think we're already producing lights somewhere. I'm not too worried about that right now, so we're just going to ignore this for right now. And it looks like this is not producing iron like it should. It's very possible that this particular recipe is not... doesn't support Krastorio properly, because there should be a way for this assembler right here to grab some iron, and I don't see a way that it's doing that. I mean, there's this mess right here. Oh, you know what? I think I see what the issue is. Yep, that's... no, it's pulling the wrong thing. This should pull... It should pull iron. It shouldn't... or iron plate. It shouldn't be pulling steel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a... oh, wait, this is not a filter inserter. So we're going to... wait, do we have filter inserters yet? I don't think we do. Oh, we do have filter inserters. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this with a filter inserter. And we're going to specify that we only want to grab iron plates. So now that will only grab iron plate from there. And that still did not work. Crap. That should have worked. Maybe it's having an issue with... oh, wait, I don't want to use that one. Maybe it's having an issue with pulling it out of the... there it goes. Yeah, there are some ways that you can have two inserters pull from each other, but sometimes it doesn't always work. And in general, I just use a box. Just let it do its thing. You don't even need to have a really big buffer. But yeah, that was definitely what was causing that. And we should start working on a proper upgrade. So let's go ahead and put that here, and we will start creating a proper upgrade planner, which will be when we need to go from that to like this, for example. And in situations where we need to, we're just going to basically put this in place because now we can, we have a reliable amount of these fast inserters that we can just kind of drop this in place and just say, all right, go ahead and upgrade all these. And then it's just going to pick out the ones that it needs to upgrade. And it's going to selectively only upgrade those. Didn't really need to upgrade those, so that's okay. But yeah, this is super, super useful. I really love that they have this in here. But now is definitely a good time of the game to start using things like this. And of course, we could also use it for things like, okay, upgrade, these inserters to faster inserters, but we're trying not to upgrade everything because they do require power. Okay, so this should start producing engines, great, which once this has sufficient number of engines, it will be able to create our locomotives, which is great. And we have cars now, good. So I think we have enough rails that we can at least start running some of this, not everything, but just some of it. And we'll grab one of these because we do need a train stop. We have not researched LTN just yet. Oh, do I not have... oh, we do have it. Okay. I just haven't researched it yet. What we'll do is we'll come over here, and this is going to be our smelting facility as we talked about before. And we're going to start setting up a train network that's just going to kind of run, because we have this as kind of our central hub right now, eventually this whole thing will just be gutted and just completely once we get to a really strong train network, this whole thing is going to be gutted. But in the meantime, we're going to run, kind of a train kind of coming down. It's going to go across, and then we'll have a train station just kind of over here. So it's going to be a really, really simple run. Do we need to use a train for this? No. This is completely overboard to use a train at this particular stage of the game. But we're doing it because we can, and that's really it. I just like using the train networks. I know they are a little bit slower for loading and unloading and that kind of thing, but I like that it can transport a large number of things very quickly. Quickly is relative, but with the Krastorio mod, because you have these loaders, there's some cool tricks you could do to making loading and unloading much faster into the storage containers that your trains will actually pick up from. And plus with higher end inserters, it's really, really fast to grab out of there. So let's stop talking as much and let's start getting to building here. I'm going to start using my number 4 hotkey, which is going to be used for setting up our train networks. And I didn't grab everything that we need. We will need to have... this is going to be a little... I know I keep saying, oh yeah, we're going to do this temporary, we're going to do that temporary. But no, this one will be a little bit temporary because eventually we will start using some of the blueprints from like... let's see, I don't like... So, I love the brines trains... I love the train stations, but I don't like the train network. Now, I know that they've done a lot of work and research into the most efficient ways to do it. I just don't like the fact that these are grid-based. I do like grid-based for when you get up to things like creating a grid style, but for the smaller sections, it's just not very like, look, here are my options for dropping this. For this stage of the game, it's a pain in the ass. That's why I have this other one that I use. This one's super awesome because it has several different styles. It's got tile-based. It's got different train stations, which I don't use their train stations, to be honest with you. They've got solar-based, which is kind of cool. It allows you to have like different train networks that have solar built into it and uses accumulators to store some of that energy. I've had issues with this though. You end up having these weird drops if you go way too overboard with solar and the accumulators. I don't know why I've been having those issues. I shouldn't have those issues. There are a lot of people who successfully go ridiculous with solar panels because they are very UPS friendly. So it's something I need to research and figure out why I keep having that problem. So in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and use some of the normal ones, but we're going to use some 4x4s. Yes, I'm starting off with 4x4s. We don't need them right now, but the reality is trying to rip these out and change them later is a pain in the ass. So let's see, we're going to want, I'm going to set up another hotkey, which is going to be for 5. And this is going to be more about setting up different, okay, so we're going to have 4x4 here. We'll put that as a 4 key only because, well, why not? And then we'll do that as a 3x3. And then we're going to also want to have some ending. Put that at about 6, sorry. And then I'm staying away from the diagonals. They're a pain in the ass to deal with. I use them occasionally when I have to, but I really try to stay away from them. I think that they are just a nightmare to deal with. Let's see. We're going to definitely want some right angles, so I guess we'll drop that there, and we're good to go. So. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. They do have grids, but their grids are much, much smaller. You can see, like, I've got room to work here. With the other one, it was like, oh yeah, either here, here, or here. That's it. It's not like, much more refined control. Now, of course, the reason they do that is because they're dealing with, the much more, like, city grid style. Which is something that, we'll get into at some point. But for right now, we're not going to. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start dropping some of these. And I'd like to use some of these cross straight paths occasionally. And what that will do is it'll allow your train to kind of be traveling on this train or this track right here and then kind of switch over to the other side. If you don't have those, it can definitely end up resulting in a lot of issues with trying to get your trains around. Now, of course, all these different resources around here, they create some issues with having so many things, you end up having to work around them. So you end up having, you're kind of snaking in and out because you don't want to waste those resources. Earlier stages of the game, I tend to just clean out as many of these resources as I can, and then at a certain point we'll set it to unlimited, so we can start setting up outposts and kind of all that stuff. But this early in the stage in the game, I think this is fine. Now I'm just kind of dropping some of these down in place. Now, of course, my bots have to go through and do a lot of this work, and I don't know. There they go. Now they're finally starting to do their job. And I'm going to get a copy of this deconstructed planner, which is over here. I just always put my deconstructor in the same place, regardless of which bar I'm on, so I could just, I always know where it's at. Just kind of my workflow. That's how I do it. Now, of course, these bots are going to have to come through and kind of clear out some of this crap. I will start dropping some roboports, which I don't have many on me, but we're going to drop a couple of roboports here, which will allow our bots to come through and start doing some work for us. Let's see. Yeah, we will have to connect that one. Guess we'll have to put an intermediate. That's the word I was looking for. Intermediate one of these right here. And, crap, this is not... Yeah, I guess we could do that. Not a huge fan of that, but that's okay for right now. Yeah, probably, yeah. This is temporary anyway. Because this is, we're doing a one-off train station right now. This is just to get some things kind of going. And, it's the start of our train network. And it's easier than dealing with this monstrosity of trying to get, trying to snake all around this. Yes, it's going to take a lot longer than dealing with it that way, but, yeah, laziness. Weird kind of laziness. It's like in software engineering, a common joke is that you'll spend, 6 hours trying to automate a 5-minute task that you use once. And it's something that happens in engineering a lot. More than a lot of engineers would like to admit. Yeah, you'll notice that as I was dropping that roboport here, I had to drop this medium light pole. You can see what I'm doing with these roboports, kind of dropping them every such a distance. I should modify these templates to actually support doing this automatically out of the box. And I thought, at one point I did have a fork. Oh, it's in one of my other games. I had a fork that I was working on that was just by adding, it wasn't to Brian's Trains, it was to this bookmark book. But it was essentially adding in roboports every certain period, so they're just automatically dropped in place. And then as you continue to build out, those will be dropped out as you drop these in place. I keep going back for this, so I'm just going to drop this thing in place right here. Now, it probably would make a lot more sense if I did this, copy and paste. So now I can just go down and find the next one. And yeah, this is doing it a little bit short. I'm using a lot more roboports than I probably need to, but I'm going every other one. Oh, wait, actually, I don't want to do that so close there. But it just creates an even amount that you kind of expect. And because this is connected to our existing logistics network, the robots will be able to come through and pick up the roboports that are being produced, come through, drop them down, and they will come through behind me, and they should start, creating this stuff in place. Except for there is one thing that I did forget that will prevent them from being able to do this. And that is that I did not put a storage bin, or I didn't make this into a passive provider storage. I didn't make this part of the logistics network. And that is definitely a big issue. But we're going to go ahead and fix that now. And we definitely have to grab a couple of rail signals. You need those. Your train networks will just not work without them. I promise you, they will not work very well without them. You'll just have trains crashing and all sorts of bad things. All right, so I'm getting rid of a little bit of resources that we don't need to have on us right now, so we can make room to grab a little bit more rail while we're here, because these bots are going to come through. You can see they're starting to finally pick up some of those, and they're going to start installing those right away. This is, again, kind of stalled out on making these steel bars. Or, excuse me, these steel beams. And we don't have beacons yet, so we can't really speed those up much faster right now. Yeah, I can, grab some and bring it and drop it in place, but whatever. We're not doing that just yet. So let's head back over here. And you can see now that I grabbed some of those signals will actually start getting dropped in place. And let's see, there we go. Tree in the way. I don't have to clear out all these. I mean, my bots will clear out the ones that are in the way of the tracks. But I do like to kind of clear a pathway. It just makes it a little bit easier to kind of find what I'm working on. But unfortunately, that does mean that the bots have to come through and spend a little time taking out all that crap. Luckily, I do have the logistics that automatically takes any wood that I'm picking up and automatically drops it in the trash pile for later pickup. I'm going to help these bots out a little bit because they are running really slow right now. I just don't have a lot of upgrades on my bots. That's okay. There we go. I know, it's a little tedious doing it slowly this way. You know, I mean, we could run off and do some other things while this continues to build. And the more I think about it, the more that sounds like a really great idea. But I would like to clear out some of this area so I can figure out where the hell the electric poles are going to go. I think right here should be good. And that will be enough spot to put... Let's see. It's kind of hard to really see what's what here. Okay. That'll be off a little bit, but that's okay. So we're going to let the bots go through. We're just going to clear out this area a little bit, run a few more roboports to the left, and then we'll go back to working on our blue circuits, and we'll let the bots kind of finish up things. But if we don't connect this area to the logistics network, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to ignore this area entirely. You know, I could run the roboports up towards the top. I just kind of prefer to run them through the center because it's expected. You know where things are going to go. If a train track gets hit by some biters, you can have them repaired by your bots. So that's kind of nice. And that's, you know, yes, you could still do that by running the roboports on the outside. But it definitely makes things a little bit more challenging when you're going to run train stops. Because then you got to move those roboports and a bunch of other things. But if you run it through the center, you never have to do that. So it just kind of makes sense. You can see this part of the process is kind of, it's painfully slow. But you can see they're kind of coming through and they're building things behind me. I just want to get this one in place, and once this one's in place, then we can put the next set in place and go back to the blue circuits. Yep, it's almost there, almost there. There we go. Saying low power, but that's because a lot of the network is not fully connected right now. You can see there's a lot of those little kind of errors popping up, but that's because it's saying like, hey, I don't have the materials that I need to finish producing this. I'm going to move these onto the other side. This way it's a little bit easier to kind of see what's what. And drop another one here. Drop one more here, and then I think that should put a majority of the network, or majority of the bots in the network at least. Some of it will be a little bit out, but okay, we're going to let our bots go ahead and finish up that work. They're making really good progress. They're just kind of coming down dealing with these now. While those go through, oh, it looks like there's a biter base we're going to have to deal with over here. By the way, when I was in Best Buy, I was pretty surprised by the amount of streaming-related products that they had there. I mean, they had, like, Blue Yeti, they had, like, I mean, just, it seemed like there was, like, 3 different aisles that were dedicated towards streaming. And, of course, during lockdown, it makes sense because a lot of people are sitting at home and they're just like, well, what else am I going to do? I mean, That's kind of why I started mine, so there's that. All right, so we got to deal with these biters. We got to get them out of there. We have to deal with these here. Actually, no, we don't have to deal with those just yet. These we got to deal with, though. But I did really want to have some rockets before I took those out. Let's see, we don't have a rocket launcher. The rocket launcher is easy to create. It's the rockets. It's mostly the explosives, because we are not building explosives currently. But let's see if we can produce enough explosives to build some rockets. Actually, you know what? No, screw it. We're just going to take it out the old-fashioned way. The way we've been doing it, because we could take them out from a distance. It'll take longer to do it this way. Or to do it that way, I should say. Oops, hi. Did not mean to get that close to y'all, but okay. Kind of kiting them around, and you can see my shields are working good, which is great. Oh, is the sound down? There we go. I feel like the games, I've been having a lot of issues with the game sound in this. I don't know, do I have it totally messed up in here? Oh, well, this is probably part of the problem. Oh, yeah, that's a huge difference. There we go. Why did I have that so low? No wonder. I mean, of course, like, oh my god. I was sitting here wondering the past couple streams, like, why can't you hear any of that? And that's, oh, because... There we go. Now you can actually hear the sound effects in the game. I raised it several times, and I didn't realize that apparently I had the master volume so damn low for some reason. Ooh, don't want to run into that nest. That would be really bad. I do not have the ammo to deal with that nest. But alright, let's drop this down so we can kind of inch our way up a little bit so we can start dealing with taking them out. I can't quite see the nest, but at least it allows me to... Oh, there we go. Ah, now you can actually hear the sound. There we go. Please let me know in chat if it's if the sound effects are too loud in the game. To be honest with you, when I play, I usually don't have the sound on. It's mostly because I'm like doing other things. I'm like, you know, watching movies or, you know, whatever. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's 2021. Nobody can, like, watch TV without doing everything else. You know, I have to play video games while I watch TV. I have to, like, I mean, we could, you know, me and Brittany, you know, could be sitting around watching, you know, a movie. And guess what I'm doing? Sitting there playing a video game. You know? What is that smoke coming out of my character? I haven't seen... Oh, you know, it's the generator. Oh, interesting. Okay, haven't seen that before, but that's... Hey. Cool. Okay, so let's drop that there. There we go. Oh, yeah, you can see it's starting to work immediately. And while they're going through, I'm going to start, like, taking this one out. Oops. Want to take that worm out. Actually, no, let's take out the spawner first. So, you know, the priority order on whether you take out a spawner first or a worm first really depends on how many spawners you have, you know, how bad they are at that point. In that instance, it was better to take out the spawner first. I really wonder what happened to that damn shovel. There used to be the shovel, and then you could use that to, like, take out the creep. But, I don't know what happened to it. So, whatever. I'm going to leave that. I don't really care about this right now. Take these apart. Well, since Brittany is actually watching the stream in the other room, maybe she could tell me if it's too loud. Because everybody in chat is very quiet tonight for some reason. I haven't seen any PJs tonight.
It's quiet.
It is quiet?
Yeah.
My voice or just the game sound?
Well, I don't have game sound. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
That didn't help at all.
No, that won't help.
Okay. So, gonna rely on people in chat because she couldn't give me an answer. I'm just giving her crap. Okay, so I'm looking for the red circuits, which are over here. We got to run those over. Here's our red circuits, and then we're going to get that connected while the bots, let's see how they're progressing. They're still moving along. They still got a ways to go, but yeah, I can see they cleared out a lot of that area. They're making great progress, but they got a little ways to go. And as soon as they get that area done, then we'll start building the next area. We're going to have to, put some belts here and all that kind of fun stuff. But we will start working on bringing some of the red circuits down. By the way, Brittany, let me know when you're getting hungry. She doesn't like eating, apparently. She never wants to eat, except at 3 a.m. when she wants Denny's. Not like she's ever done that before, or every weekend. I mean, what? Okay, so yeah, this underground pipe, or this yeah, the underground pipe is a little bit in the way there, but yeah, I guess we're just gonna leave it because I don't feel like. Oops, had the wrong hotkey going, or hotkey bar, I should say. I don't feel like sneaking that around right now. I mean, normally I would just like move the underground a little bit up or down, but we don't really need to pull directly off that from there, so that doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're going to connect up some red circuits. This isn't going to really get much more of this blue circuits kind of going, but at least it will get that connected, and then we can kind of move over to grabbing some more of these rails. Let's see, how much of these are being produced? Yeah, still got a little ways to go with these, but that's okay. Let the bots still do the thing. Oh, you know what? Let's see how many actual bots we have. Maybe we can just create a lot more of those. Okay, so we need more robot frames and electronic components. Don't have many components on us right now, but we have a few. Yeah, and unfortunately we don't have the logistics network, or else I could just tell it to pick up a bunch of those. But by creating a few more of these, yeah, I can see we have, well, it says we have 12 of them are not, or 12 of them are at idle and 121 are total. But it looks like now they're all being used, so. Yeah, 122. Okay, cool. So let's go grab some electronic components so we can just drop a bunch in there. And, oh wait, we gotta drop some stuff in our discard pile. And that will drop it over to our, the logistics network will come across, pick some of those up. But it's a great way to clear out your inventory really quickly. All right, let's come down here. We're just going to fill ourselves up. And you can see we just grabbed 1,000. That's great. This way we can just build a bunch of bots, let them go ahead and go forth and conquer, my pretties. Because that's how you talk to bots, right? I mean, that's how I talk to bots. Oh, I think I dropped one thing in there that really... Oh, yeah, inserter parts. That doesn't belong there. And what is holding this up? Green circuits. Okay. Makes sense. Let's drop some green circuits in there, and we'll go grab some more green circuits, because we're going to want to produce a good, 200 or 300 of these, because, we want those to, we want those bots to really just go out and just build a bunch of crap. Where is our green circuit? Let's turn off this logistics network so we can turn off turrets, and there we go. That's a little bit easier to kind of see what's what. Yeah, our green circuit production right now is still a little bit small. Oh, that's because I have the discard there. Oops. You know what? Maybe we can just race over here, put those in the bin before they're discarded. I know this is a really stupid way to do this, but whatever. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and of course the bots just come along and grab more and bring them to me. I gotta get a new chair. This chair sucks. You might notice me keep moving around. It's because I have a pad on my chair because I work, you know, I mean, a lot of people working from home these days, but I do work from home a lot, and you know, I work on projects on the weekends a lot too, and I stream all the time on here now, so like I'm in this chair quite a bit, and because of that, the chair goes flat a lot. Okay, so that's going to produce a lot more bots. We're up to 125 now, so that's great. And it looks like they might have finished some of that construction. They haven't finished all of it, but they've finished a good amount of it. So that means we can kind of come over here and start working on the next phases of it. Or at least start dropping plans for the next phases, I should say. But yeah, I can't drop those. We'll have to kind of... Oh, yes. This is one of those parts where I don't want to waste that. So we are going to have to, like... I know it looks really stupid, but we're going to sneak our way around that. And, you know, I'm going to drop one of those there. And then we'll put one more straight here. And then we're going to put a... Let's see, we'll put a four-way here. Oops. Oh, yeah, that's fine. We'll have to get into range to put the rest of that in place. Looks like there is something being attacked. Of course. Get away from my pipes! Alright, you know what? There's an easier way to deal with them. I should have just done that to begin with. But of course they went through and, you know, they found a hole in my defenses, and that's what they do. Let's see, can they just go ahead and repair that? Yes, they're going to. Good, because I don't feel like dealing with it myself. That's the great thing about these bots. You get attacked and, you know. So, you know, this is a good part of that game, or good time of the game to start looking at where we have holes in our defenses. Because they will keep trying to find holes in your defenses. And they will keep probing at your defenses. And I know that sounds oddly sexual, but it's not. They will just keep trying to find ways in. Okay, I'll stop now with that. They're going to keep trying to find their ways in. And that's just what they do, you know. But because we did have them kind of, you know, hit us over there, I am going to drop a little bit here because this is actually a very valuable area now for us. And we don't want them messing up our rare metals because they're rare-ish metals. They're just kind of a pain in the ass to find around the map. And, you know, we just don't want a lot of our materials to be taken out because that would be pretty annoying. Now, of course, these do use power, so we're not going to want to just drop 1,000 of these everywhere. So I'm being a little tiny bit strategic. I am allowing them to have some gaps because, let's face it, you do want them to have some gaps because you're going to want them to kind of, you want to lure them into, you know, kind of a kill box. And by having this little gap here, that's going to keep them, it's going to keep them away from the more precious areas, draw them down to where there's some other things they're going to want to attack, but then there's this turret right here that'll kind of deal with them. You know, I do have some templates that I had worked on for my rail system that actually had, oh wow, I totally messed this up over here. Did I? Oh no, that's right. I did have a version of my, my rail book that I was working on that actually included laser turrets, but that's like much higher end game when you don't really care as much about power production because you're constantly, you know, improving that. But it does get super expensive, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, let's go ahead and drop some of these down here because otherwise it will not be able to connect to our logistics network. And let's do another copy paste here. Yeah, it's not... I try to have these overlapping best I can. They don't always overlap, but... okay, this one I have to just put in place manually. The others I can copy and paste. But that one I had to place manually because I wanted to make sure that there is a overlap on the orange color. And that's just, I mean, as long as the green is in place, that's all that really matters. But I like to have them all connected because then that means I can stand at any point and let them just kind of do their thing. Yes, I would use a lot less RoboPorts if I did it the smarter way. But I'm doing it the Jolene way, which means, wait, why did you do it that way again? And I can hear Brittany rolling her eyes from here on that one. And she's laughing very, like, maniacally because she knows that I'm right. When we get some of our later belts, we can run, we don't need to use 2 undergrounds here, but for right now, at this particular stage of the game, we do. Actually, I don't know if we can go up, but yeah, I mean, we could get a little bit, we can get 1 more space worth, but I just like them to be symmetrical. Just because, really, that's about it. Okay, cool. So we have those in place. Let's see how much of our logistics network is in place. We have, I mean, we're a little bit lacking on the orange, which is mostly about where they will come to drop off logistics to you, like logistical items and such. But as long as they're in the green area, they will. Oh wait, is green? Wait, I always forget. Is green's construction, and then orange is logistics. That's what it is. Okay, so I think that these would still do production. Yeah, because this one was in the green. Yeah, okay, you know what? We'll just leave it like that. Okay, so we're going against the Jolene method for reasons. Even though I just had that whole, whatever. But hey, that's part of the Jolene method. As soon as you figure things out, you totally change it because you can. All right, so we're going to tell the bots to go ahead and get rid of some of these trees here too. Pulling the old anti-Captain Planet maneuver. The patented anti-Captain Planet maneuver, I should say. And let's drop more of our logistics network to make sure that we're not getting too ahead of ourselves. Don't really see much of an area for that here. Oh wait, I do need that one to overlap though. I can't go too crazy with that here. We'll drop that. Yeah, that's good there. I need the bots to kind of come through. Now, the great thing is that if you build out, if you continue to drop these RoboPorts as ghosts, what will happen is even if they don't have power, they will come over to them to build them. As long as the logistics network leading up to it exists. It doesn't have to be powered, it just has to exist. However, if it doesn't have power, you could end up running in a situation where your bots are just very slowly trying to make it back to base, and they are very angry with you. They're not going to set you on fire or anything, but they're still going to be angry with you. I mean, you do not want to go to their union halls when they're angry with you about that. I mean, trust me, I've seen it. It's not pretty. Just kidding, I have no idea. Anyway, but yeah, you can see one of the issues right now is that there are bots waiting for other bots to come through and clear out these trees. Because they already have items on them, they can't do the construction of removing the trees and then placing the item. It's annoying. I wish there was a workaround for that. It might actually solve itself later on when you have increased carry capacity. Oh, look at that. These slow bots. They're going to be mad at me later. How are they charging? Wait. Oh, they're charging off me. Never mind. But yeah, you can see that my battery power is definitely dropping. 65, 64, 60. It's dropping really fast. And that's because my personal remote port is basically charging that right now. And that will keep going until... Oopsies. I don't know what I just hit. That'll keep going until that runs out of power, which is pretty much now. Yeah, now it's out of power. And the RoboPort no longer works, and they will just kind of jump back into my inventory, or I think they hang around. I don't know exactly what they do when that happens, but you can see the RoboPort is just dropping in power really rapidly as they charge up. And then eventually, okay, they did stop, they slowed down, but it'll take a little while for this battery to charge back up because the small portable generators do not generate a lot of power. So my battery's completely dead. I do have a solar panel on me, but being realistic, these solar panels are pretty damn useless. They do not generate much power. Yeah, the large ones could technically get maximum output of 192 kilowatts. The small portable generators are 200 kilowatts, but they work when there's no sun. And then these portables are 40. They're beyond useless. Okay. I mean, they're not useless. They do serve a purpose. They have a very extended, or they have a very short, shelf life. That's the word I'm looking for, shelf life. What you want? Burritos, or I knew you were going to suggest burritos. I just knew it. You know why I knew she was going to suggest burritos? Because I had them last night. But you know what? What about that place that had the really amazing, like, chicken thing? I hope that she knows what I'm talking about, because I don't know how else to describe it. We got this amazing chicken the other night. It was like chicken. It was like chicken with jalapeno, and like it was Chinese style, like fried chicken with jalapeno and red peppers in it, and oh my god, it was just amazing. It was amazing. I mean, I don't know what else to use besides amazing. It was just truly amazing.
You're
Yeah.
amazing.
No. Yeah, you can see this is taking a little while for these to run. I'm hoping to at least get their red circuits connected tonight. Things are going a little slow tonight. Like, these bots are going a lot slower than I thought it was going to be. But I was hoping to be able to get our train system set up at least partially tonight. We don't need too much more. I think we're going to put an interchange. We'll run a line kind of coming up, and then that will be good. And then we should be able to activate a little bit of trains. I mean, unfortunately, because we don't have a full logistics network, we will have to manually put some fuel in in a box for the train itself. But that's just to get us to that next kind of phase of the game. And then once we have those logistics spots, we don't have to deal with that anymore. But that will be something that I will hopefully work on a little bit, during the off times. But yeah, please let me know in the comments below, or let me know in chat if you have any preference on Dyson Sphere program versus Factorio. I've been definitely keeping an eye on the analytics and such, trying to get a good idea of what's more popular, Factorio or Dyson Sphere program, and it's been really it's been very inconclusive. It's been up and down, so it's really hard to tell whether one's more popular than the other. But they will do a test run next week and see how popular Satisfactory is, or excuse me, how popular Dyson Sphere program is during the week on a Wednesday. Let's see. Did I want to build that there? Oh, I guess I could have went up one more. So I'm actually going to tell this to. I love the undo button. That's one thing I wish Dyson Sphere program had. It does not have it yet, but I'm sure they will add it. It's an undo button. It's so damn useful. And that's a great situation where it's super useful. So, jalapeno chicken and egg rolls. Yes, please. You absolutely adorable woman. She knows what I like. We're We're getting so close to being able to, I mean, obviously our bots have to go through and actually build the rest of this, but we are getting really close to being able to turn this thing on. I think we should be able to have this we're either going to be able to have this on by the end of this episode or get us so close that we'll be able to turn this on for the next episode. So we'll see. Because basically what it comes down to is that when my food arrives, that will be the end of the episode. Because I am, not going to lie, I'm kind of hungry tonight. Okay, how's it different than every other night? But I am pretty hungry tonight. But yeah, I might help my bots out a little bit by filling in some of these blanks. There we go. Okay, so now that that's kind of doing its thing, now we can actually start building out the actual train network itself. Now, one of the things that I will be doing is this is going to be definitely this is not going to be an LTN logistics train network style setup. This is just going to be point A to point B. And it's going to go through, it's going to pick up a bunch of ore, it's going to go over, drop it off, go back to the beginning. That's all it's going to do, back and forth all day. And that is just until we get our yellow science really up and going. Once that happens, then we'll be able to research our logistics train network, our logistics network, where we can have requester, containers and, buffer containers and that kind of stuff. That will allow us to make it a little bit quicker to kind of get those next stages of the game. This is a much slower part of the game. Like we're almost over that hump. But I know right when we're almost over that hump, I'm like, hey, let's switch games. That's how I am. Let's just face it, I have ADD. But yeah, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do Dyson Sphere program next week on a Wednesday or not. We'll kind of see. I haven't decided. I'm still back and forth. I mean, I have video game ADD as it is. Let's face it, as soon as I start playing Dyson Sphere program a lot, off the stream and actually during the stream, what's going to end up happening, I'm going to end up playing Factorio a lot off the stream. That's just how things go. That's just how I roll. Okay, so this is going to be part of our temporary network. So we're just going to call this one drop off. And, normally I would use a format where I would do like drop off item equals rare metals. I know that there's the new way that you could just use this picker to pick the items, but it's just a habit. I used it so much when I I used it so much, before that feature was available, that I just got so used to it. But yeah, this will be our drop-off area, and we're going to set up, I guess we'll do for our drop-off, we're just going to set up a chest right here, and this chest will be used for putting fuel into our engine. And let's see here, we're going to have to go grab some rocket fuel, obviously. We still need to grab our actual trains themselves, too. Now, you might be asking yourself, why aren't you using some of those, great blueprints you were talking about for the trains? Again, temporary. This is a temporary setup. I'm going to be setting up one locomotive, one storage. That's it. Because this is all temporary. And then when we move over to another type, then we'll start using one locomotive and for what the hell they call those? Oh God, I'm gonna have to look at it now. What do they call them? Oh my God, my brain is like not braining. Cargo wagons. There we go. So we'll set up one locomotive and it's going to be two locomotives and 4 cargo wagons. So it'll be what's considered to be basically like so it'll be locomotive, 4 cargo wagons, and then a locomotive. And they will not be a dual directional facing. They will be all facing the same direction. But that allows it to run faster. The more weight you put in it, the slower it goes. What a shock. I know, right? Who would have thunk about that? Okay, so let's give this some power. Cool, there we go. Let's go grab some rocket fuel. And let's see here. How are we doing on bots? Yeah, we create 134. So, I mean, we're up to 134. We're creating an additional like 20 or so or whatever. But you can see they're all in use. But what do we need in order to create more of these, get more of these out there? I mean, we do have to be a little bit careful. We can't go too crazy with it because we will end up just using a lot of electricity trying to, keep all those maintained. I don't know how much electricity it really uses with them being at idle. But early game, I'm going to, kind of err on the side of caution. If you know for a fact what happens with that, please leave a comment if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Twitch, wait, does Twitch have comments? Huh. I don't know. But yeah, please do the, the usual like, subscribe, share it around, force your friends at figurative gunpoint or cyberpunk gunpoint style, like, video game gunpoint. That's totally acceptable, I think. But yeah, please like, subscribe, follow, share it around, do all those things. It really helps me out. I know every damn, YouTuber out there says that, but the reality is it's an absolute truth. Like, you cannot build a channel if people don't share it around. And there's a reason why YouTubers say that crap all the time, is because they can't build a channel otherwise, And that's why, I mean, even way before I started running my own channel, I was always really big on, if I find a channel I like, I subscribe, and if I find a video useful, I hit a like, I don't always comment. I mean, I try to, but, the more important thing is to like and, subscribe. But I'll tell you, if I subscribe to something and, the content changes from where it used to be, I'll unsubscribe in a heartbeat. And there's quite a few channels that, were really cool in the beginning, and then they just turned into, political messes that I didn't feel like dealing with. And I was just like, you know what? Nope. Bye. All right. So there we go with that. Let's see. How much rocket fuel do we actually have right now? Okay. Oh, it looks like we have we don't have a ton, but it'll be enough. Let's see here. Go over to our train network. And we're going to grab one locomotive and one cargo wagon. Where are our locomotives? Oh, in this one, not the other one. What a shock. Yep, there that goes. There's one. And let's see. Where are the cargo wagons? I know there's cargo wagons in here. I can create it by hand if I need to, but I kind of wanted to have that automatically created. Huh. I thought this blueprint had them. Oh, here it is. I knew they were here somewhere. Because we will be creating a bigger logistics train network later, I'm just going to let this thing just go ahead and just create a bunch of them. Because, yeah, we're going to need them for fluids. We're going to need a lot of locomotives. I just don't want to spend a lot of resources on it, but for locomotives just yet. But the cargo wagons, they definitely are not that expensive, resource-wise. Okay, why is this not... Wait, do I not have any... Oh, it's because I don't have any rails on me. Duh. No wonder. I wonder if we're even building any. Oh, yeah, we're building some. Now, of course, there is another thing I could have done. I could have actually put them in a box and put them nearby. That would allow my bots to go through and build these a lot faster. And now that I'm thinking about that, I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. So you can let the bots kind of... well, I guess since they're in my inventory, it doesn't really matter because they're going to do it anyway. But I am going to warp myself up here so we can... I want my bots to build the ones that I really need right now, which are the ones that we need in order to drop down the locomotive and such. And then I can go grab some more rails, and then I can just kind of walk around to some of these areas and let my bots do their thing. Oh, you know, one thing I forgot to do is put all this rocket fuel I just grabbed. Put that in there. Cool. And you can see now it's just starting to drop some of the rocket fuel in here. Now there is also these the equipment grids. The great thing is that this is something that Krastorio added for trains. I don't know if Vanilla has this for trains. I know it has it for the Spidertron, but for trains I'm not sure if it has it. But it does have these engines that make it a little bit faster to kind of speed up your trains and such. And then typically what I do is I'll put a couple batteries in it. I'll do solar power, and oh yeah, these little motors right here. So you put a couple of these motors in there with some batteries, some solar panels, and let it do its thing. Now the solar panels are not going to get a lot of extra. This only affects the acceleration. It doesn't affect the max speed, and that's why I put solar in it. It's cheap. I mean, it's renewable energy, and you know, if for some reason the batteries are dead because the logistics network is super active, then it doesn't really affect anything because it's just the acceleration's a little bit slow. And usually at that point I just need to add more. But I end up adding enough of the trains that, you know, they're not active enough that they do have a little bit of idle time. I don't know what is that? Oh, okay. I was looking at that emoji, and from over here, the emoji that Brittany put in chat, I couldn't tell what it was. It looked like, honestly, like from here, and this is probably my eyesight going, I don't know, but it looks like they're like little drinks with like a lime on the side for some reason. Like you ordered me like water with lime for some reason. I don't know. I mean, they're not lemons because they're white, so I don't know. Well, limes are not white either. Whatever. Anyway. I don't know. Okay, so come on, bots. Come on. Come do your thing. Let's finish this up. I want to get this thing out the door tonight. I guess while this is doing its thing, let's head over to the other side. And we can start building the other side of this. And we just have to drop... Now, this is going to be where our pickup is. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't... I don't like how I did this. This is probably kind of messy. Well, yeah, okay, we could do it this way. Yeah, so the trains will kind of come up here. They'll drop off. Or I'm sorry, this will be the pickup. And I'm just going to be a little bit... Pick up, if I could spell that word. And basically this will be our pickup, and we're just going to have a schedule where it's going to be, you know, kind of come over. Actually, we can create the schedule. Oh, wait, we have to create the schedule on the train. Never mind. Now, of course, this one's going to be super simple. And we're just going to put a couple of these here. Actually, you know, well, this is a temporary one, so we won't worry about that. In some of my, I have actually been working on, let's see, I don't know if I have it in this particular one. I was working on, oh yeah, Krastorio trains. I haven't uploaded this yet to the Krastorio store, or Krastorio store, the Factorio Blueprints website. But you can see this is one of the ones that I have been using for higher end. It's so I can just attach to any one of these kind of like main networks where I have it. And you can see I use the really big warehouses. You know, this is 8 lanes, kind of drops on, you know, each one of these, drops it in there. You might be asking, like, okay, why didn't you just, you know, have a lot more trains on it? Well, the reality is, you know, I want these trains to kind of come in really fast, pick up a ton of resources, and get out of there as quickly as possible. Use a lot more trains instead of longer trains. And that's only because of the stage of the game that this particular, that I developed this in. I have been working slowly towards transitioning that particular game to using longer trains for dealing with raw ore. But when dealing with like picking up metals or picking up circuits and such, at that particular stage, I didn't need longer trains yet. But yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop some of these loaders here. And let's drop some belts kind of coming in. This is going to be a really simple one. I am not going to overboard with it. Yeah, see, I'm just doing a really simple, this is a temporary kind of setup. This will not be very balanced, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. We'll use some fast inserters here to at least grab these out as quickly as it can. I don't have enough of those on me, unfortunately. Yes, I know I should be using the hotkeys. I'm not. I know. This is a temporary setup anyway, so it doesn't matter so much. Why does this have power? Oh, I see why. Duh. There we go. That's charging up. And I'm going to run this over. And this will help balance it out a little bit. Yeah, I know I'm building it on the opposites. You know, the buffer's over here and I'm building it over there. It doesn't really matter that much because the train stop itself is going to operate as a buffer. But now these will start coming down and then they will start loading into that while we go over and we continue with the other things. And there we go. Slowly coming down, and this will not be perfectly balanced. I mean, this will do a pretty decent job at trying to make these as balanced as possible. You know, I mean, with that blueprint I just showed you, it's a much better blueprint. But yeah, watch. It's not doing a bad job. I mean, it's, you know, right now they're okay balanced. I mean, that's like 28, 24, 60. Yeah, it's, yeah, whatever. Who cares? It does the job. It starts loading these in. Let's see where we're at with these completing. I might have to come down and help my bots out a little bit. Oh, it looks like it's pretty close at this point. Oh, looks like it is actually done. Excellent. I'm going to build another radar for down here. And I will want to protect that with some lasers because remember, the I almost said gremlins for some reason. The gremlins, the biters, are attracted to radar. Everybody knows that I drink coffee when I watch radar. Line from Spaceballs for anybody who doesn't know that. And if you don't know that, you're not a nerd. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to... Now, we haven't actually built our drop-off. We should probably build that next because that would make a lot of sense. Oops, didn't want to build that there. Yeah, we need to go a little bit better with this. And then we can put some things that come out of there to there, and there. Now, we will have to come through and, let's see. How long does it say on food, Brittany?
20.
Okay. I think we're going to have just enough time to start making a couple of these trips and actually connect our blue circuits. Exciting! For these temporary kind of setups, I definitely like to get into the train and take a little bit of a ride to make sure that it works correctly. So you hit enter near your train and you get automatically inserted into it. You could manually move yourself back and forth if you'd like. Not really much of an automated system if you're to do that. See, it's filled up with our rocket fuel. We're going to go on that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to tell us that we're going to first want to go to our pickup station. We're going to add a condition of full cargo. So what it's going to do is it's going to come here, and as soon as the cargo is full, it's going to go to the next condition, which will be drop off. And then it's going to go, and it's going to hang out there until empty cargo. Because this is a one-off system that is just going to be a temporary, I will want this to hold here until the cargo is empty. If it's not empty, there's no reason to run the train around. Because that means that the chests that are here are full. Or we're just not using enough of those resources, no reason to run the train. However, on the pickup side, we don't want to wait for full cargo the whole time because it will take a while for that to be fully stocked up. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a or condition, which will be it's going to wait until the cargo is full or 30 seconds have passed. But we're going to add one additional, and we're going to switch this over to an and statement, and we're going to make that 3 seconds. The reason I do is, now, for those that don't know if statements very well, and this will be good for Brittany because she's starting to, well, she's going to start learning to do some coding soon. This is a logical statement right here, and it basically says, as soon as all these conditions are true, then we'll move on to the next step. And this first step is if the cargo is full or 30 seconds have passed and 3 seconds have passed. So what that means is that there will be no matter what happens at these first two statements, this bottom statement, it has to have 3 seconds pass before we can move on to the next point. The reason we do that is that there is some weird bugs in Factorio that I don't know if they've ever actually fixed it. I know this was a very early bug that I still just kind of put this in place because it's one of those things where you just kind of get used to doing something for a long period of time. You just kind of end up doing it forever. But there was a weird bug where the trains would get in a weird state in the if the inserters were still operating when you tried to leave. So that is just kind of an extra buffer. Logistics Train Network still has that delay in place. So I assume because of that, it means that it still needs to be there. So let's go ahead and test this. Let's switch this over to automatic. And you can see our train is now kicking off. It's properly identified the station that it needs to go to. It's figured out its waypoint. Kind of chugging along, chugging along, chugging along, chugging along. Is it chugging along or chugging along? I think chugging sounds a lot more, yeah. Because wait, are we chucking trains? I don't think you can do that. Okay, so we're kind of coming along here, and then you can see, it gives you a progress bar, so it's saying, okay, good, it has met that 3 seconds, but it still has these other two things that have to be met, which means either 30 seconds have passed or it has full cargo. These green little bars are a great way to debug the state of your trains and trying to figure out like what's wrong. You can see there's no way it's going to get to full cargo. That's okay. And the reason why we're not waiting for full cargo is that while we're waiting for this full cargo, which could take quite a while because we're just not putting a lot of it in there very fast right now, we don't want the station that it needs to drop off to be starved. Now you'll notice that this drop off, I should have added an extra condition in here, which would be that 3 second delay like we spoke about. And I'm going to put that there. And it's just a very simple and statement. Empty cargo inventory. And you see the cargo is almost empty already. 3 seconds have passed. As soon as that's complete, it'll just go through, make its circuit, and it will run around. Hit enter, leave the train, and you can see that the inserters are doing their job. They're pulling things out. They're kind of slow at this stage. I mean, you would normally put inserters on both sides of the tracks, but because this is a temporary setup, we're not doing that because it's just kind of a waste of time. We could put some stack inserters that would definitely be faster. They use a little bit more power. It's not worth it at this particular stage of the game. But now that we have that, let's kind of let's run our belt up there. It's again a temporary setup. I know I keep saying that, but I just have to stress that. And I actually built that in the wrong spot. It's going to look a little weird. Who cares? But the reason I wanted to do that was because I wanted to make sure that this is somewhat even. But alright, so let's kind of run this around this way. And we just want to make sure we leave a little bit of room here. And I didn't. Oopsies. Should have went over a little bit less. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. And running this up. You can see it's a little bit delayed. It's kind of going behind me there, but that's okay. And that's fine to have this kind of drop off here. The blue circuits are going to exclusively use these rare metals for now. We will eventually set up a little bit better drop off that multiple things can use it, but for right now it's going to exclusively use this. And let's get rid of that. Connector up and drum roll. You can see they're already working. Awesome. So now we got blue circuit production going, which is amazing, awesome. Very happy about that. You'll see that this requires assembly machine number 3. We don't have that yet. I left those in place for right now. I'll change them out later. It's only because we're really only feeding the resources into half of it right now. All of these beacons, we don't even have beacons yet, so this is all temporary setup. I mean, well, temporary-ish, because this will get us to to beacons, and we'll probably be running this for a little while. But eventually, we'll start taking these down, and they'll start becoming a train network that just has a series of stops. Or we'll have a kind of an outpost or like kind of a substation that is in charge of. It's going to request rare metals. It's going to request sulfur, and it's going to request red circuits. And it's going to just self-contained system is going to build blue circuits and spit out the results. And then any of the other systems that require blue circuits will just make a request to it. And these will just be kind of generic systems that are only designed for that one purpose. It's to build blue circuits, and that's it. And that will be part of our bigger logistics network. But yeah, these are all things that we'll be going to. See, our train's already making our second delivery. And eventually these will become full. And it'll take a while, to be honest with you, because we are using some of those resources very slowly. Now, we could speed that up also by, dropping some... you can see this is going really slow because we're only pulling from what we're producing right now. We're not producing at a very fast rate right now. These miners should probably get upgraded at some point. I don't know if I'm even producing the next level of miners automatically. I might be. I must be. But we can go ahead and tell these to upgrade now. We'll just upgrade a few of those. And if our bots find those in the network, I'm just kind of looking around to see if I could find those in the network or not. Because I don't remember if we started making those automatically. And I don't think we do. No, we don't. That'll be something I need to work on after the stream. We'll be about... Well, let's get rid of some of these trees here. But that will be something that I need to work on, is improving some of these malls, which is something I did do last week. So I did do what I said I was going to do. Poggers. Oh, God. I never got into Pogs. I just... Were you into Wait, Brittany, were you into Pogs?
No, and that's not what that means.
I don't know what that means. Are you saying something really offensive?
No.
Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to ask her later because I have no idea what she's talking about, and she's giving me dirty looks like...
It means awesome, okay?
Oh, it means awesome. Oh.
Basically.
I thought it was going to be something like, that consenting adults do in
No.
the vicinity of their private doctor, but not any priests.
This is a PG-13 rated stream.
That was PG-13-ish.
Ish.
Yes. Oh my God, she looks so cute today. Can I just say that? She's hiding off camera. She's being shy today, but she's looking really cute. I just have to say that. She came and picked me up from the orthodontist today. And I got in the car and I was like, hi! She was just being all cute. I haven't seen her in a few days because she had to go get her giant, massive truck. She's got this truck that, I swear it's like this... it's just ridiculous trying to get in and out of it, especially if I'm wearing heels. Like, I need to rent a forklift for her to like get me in and out of the truck. She's giving me dirty looks right now. Anyway, I mean, she's a chick who drives a diesel truck. I mean, come on, how awesome is that? Like, anyway, so yeah, so we made some great progress this stream. We got our blue circuits up and going. We've got a little bit, we've got a good start in our train network. That's a great thing. So that's awesome. I'm super happy about that. But yeah, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, do all the things. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and save this. And I don't know if I'm gonna be working on this after. I'll probably work on it a little bit after dinner. But yeah, thank you very much for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, do all the amazing things, share it around, comment below, let me know what you do or don't like about the stream. And, Saturday I'll be back with Dyson Sphere Program, and maybe a decision on whether I'm going to stream Dyson Sphere Program on Wednesday next week. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. And honestly, it might be something I might change kind of last minute, but for the most part, if you see on YouTube or in Twitch stream, if you see that I have a specific game scheduled, then there's a pretty good chance I will be going ahead with that game. Unless there's something amazing that happens. If there's a new game that comes out early access this week, hey, I might change things up last minute. That's what happened with Dyson Sphere Program. It was suddenly out of nowhere. The game came out, and I was like, hey, this is awesome. I really want to check out this game. Everybody really loved it, and I fell in love with the game instantly. There are some other games that I have been checking out that, I've downloaded a couple games. I haven't been completely wowed with them, but, if I find something, I'll definitely let you know. But for the most part, if you see it on my schedule, that means that I'll be doing it. And if you see Factorio on Wednesday, then I'll be playing Factorio. If you see Dyson Sphere Program, well, that means I'll probably be playing Dyson Sphere Program. Anyway, thank you very much for hanging out. And thank you very much. And bye, my unicorns. Bye.